A very good evening to all of you. And let me wish all of you a very happy new year from people from Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, from each and every place. There are some of the other events which are going on. And I congratulate each one of you on beginning of the new year. And it is my pleasure to be in a allied company and giving a session on creating a world record holders, because today there is a huge need of students who have a huge base of ideas, but they need a proper guidance. They need proper way of undertaking their ideas to the next level. Because as I've dealt with students, I have come across a lot of students who have wonderful ideas. They are ready to explore. They are ready to move across and take help of not many websites. They are now familiar with the technology and they are ready to explore. But what to explore, how to explore, where to get the relevant information, how to compile those information, how to edit those information, what to do with that information. What is the next step, next step, next step? That is what is a missing link. And here where Brain comes into picture, wherein we have an expert team who guide, who mentor and coach students on how to find out a niche in there, discovering themselves. I see a lot of students, I'd say around 60-40% students who know what exactly they want to do. They have vague ideas, they have 2-3 different areas, but are not sure which area will work for them. And what are skill sets they have? What are their weaknesses? How they can convert their weaknesses into strength and make their weaknesses as a part of the activity of creating a world record or creating a research or innovating a product and services. So today I'm going to talk on 3 topics. One is the world record creation, second is research, and third is innovation. So let's start with world record holders. Now, this will be a completely interactive session. If anybody wants to, I'm happy that...
Sir, sorry to interrupt. If you could bring the mic closer, I could hear it better.
Sure. Thank you very much. Is it now audible?
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. So here the main aspect of the world record is when I dealt with around more than 25 plus students, what I observed is some of them had the idea of this is the thing which we want to do the record, because we have been practicing this and we know this, but how to go forward, how to convert this into a certain skill set, ability, so that I can put forward these activities in front of the audience and let them know that I can do something different. I am different, I'm unique. So putting up those was a big challenge, and we worked with them. We worked with their parents and we created the records. Now, the second category of parents and the students which we identified is they wanted to do something different. They were ready to come up with ideas. They were ready to put in the time availability, and they were ready to put in that extra efforts. So if you have heard me properly, there are 3 things which are required to do something differently. One is the devotion of time. The second is devotion of your abilities. And the third thing is your passion. You need to be passionate. Unless and until you become mad about it, you cannot create something new, because you have to pour yourself into it. I have seen many students who don't see the day and night, and they just go about researching, finding out the ideas, noting down their skill sets, and coming up with certain activities. And I really appreciate their efforts. And these students, I have seen that they have definitely been able to achieve what they want. Maybe the time span can be maybe ranging from 2 months to 6 months. It's just a matter of moving across and creating a value out of it. Now here I want to emphasize one more aspect of importance of creating something, maybe a record, maybe creating a book, maybe creating a copyright, maybe developing an idea of designing a product. So here you require that you need to be really put yourself into it. You need to ready to learn, ready to unlearn certain things which will not help them to progress ahead, such as procrastination. So one of the aspects where I have gone through some students wherein they said that we want to do it, but I cannot push myself. So here we created a plan for them, and through tools and systems, we put them into systems. I said, if you're not ready to mold yourself in the system, it will become very difficult for you to move forward, because systems, processes, procedures, and tools take you ahead. If you're not ready to mold yourself, it becomes very difficult. So we actually worked with them hand in hand, because I always say that it's a teamwork. Me as a mentor, the student who is really want to put in the efforts, and the parents, because parents also are equally charge of this complete what you can say, the whole concept designing and the final execution. So anybody who will be interested in creating records, innovation, research, I want them to help their child, as I know that each parent is busy. Everybody has his own work. Because of the online, there are more time and efforts needs to put in, and I understand very clearly. But again, if you are not able to give a little bit more extra time to your child needs motivation. Your child needs a pat on his back that yes, you have done a wonderful job. You have found out something which is, you have taken efforts to find out. You have put in your time, and you have put in your priorities. You have managed your priorities. You have skipped your some work. Maybe the child does not go to play and sits for research. That needs to be really appreciated. And I want this parents to appreciate their child, so that the child gets motivated, because these are the some important and most important factors, I will say, is the motivation. Second thing is the competition. Now this, we all hear this word competition, but I see in a very different perspective. Competition is outside, but we cannot just run with the competition. It's just a rat race. Everybody is getting, because due to a lot of pressure on different aspects of life, maybe college pressure, the grades, the percentage. It's very easy said and done that don't run behind the percentage and don't run behind the grades. It's very easy to say. But practically speaking, because I always believe in practical aspects. Practically speaking, if you put in your efforts, the grades and marks will follow. You don't have to run behind the marks. You don't have to run behind people and compete with them to score in par with the marks. You don't have to be in par. You create your own ocean. You create your own platform. If you are able to do that, I think nothing can stop you from going across the grades. Because if you just run in the competition, the stress level increases, because you are competing with somebody who is not in par with you. You are unique. Your abilities are different. You are a lion and you are competing with an elephant in a run. In terms of strength, both the strengths are different. Both their capabilities are different. So why to compete with different capabilities when you have an extreme talented personality within you? I see every child, because all those 25 kids and plus some few kids who are training under me, they are all unique. I have never seen that this child and this child, if I put them into one basket, A will succeed and B will not succeed. It's not possible, because these are all different 25 baskets. And each one of them have different abilities, capabilities, and way of expressing. I love the way they express. I love the way they laugh. I love the way they discuss. I love the way they put forward their views. They're introvert students. There are different way of approaching their body language, their eye movements. That's their language. There are some students who are more talkative. That's a communication is the more or mode of expressing themselves. So each one of them have different capabilities of expressing. I have some students who don't talk, but when they write, the way they express are more expressive than rather talking or giving facial expressions. So when I read their articles, when I read them, it's really, I feel much more good to put forward. I'm not going to take their names because I don't want to miss any of them. Each one is unique for me. Each one is the same brand which I see in each one of them. Nobody's one and nobody's number two. For me, all the 25 are number one in their own capabilities. Number three point, which I want to emphasize over here, is whatever they have inbuilt capabilities. Because what I see that most of the parents have their own dreams, which they have not fulfilled. And then they put those restrictions and they put those not directly, indirectly also. Now, there are some parents who are very smart enough to put in an indirect format. It's nothing wrong. I don't say it's wrong. But we also need to analyze that your child has certain genes which he has been built up, and he needs to, the seeds need to be nurtured. You are plowing a different seed besides him, and you want both of them to grow. There are two possibilities. One is simultaneously they both grow and both grow in a wonderful way. Second, the seed which you have plowed, you want that seed to be nurtured very fast. And the seed which your child has plowed, you also encourage. But at the same time, that seed grows in a very, what you can say, the process is delayed. And when this seed which you want to plow, you have plowed in his mind, that grows in a faster way. And then we all come together and say that, yeah, see, this seed is going very well. Why don't we capture this? And all the three of us work on those seeds, which is not strongly plowed in him, but has been just sown because you want that seed to be sown. Again, I repeat, there's nothing wrong. Only thing is your child, the passion which he drives, he can bring in that passion in that seed also and get wonderful results. I've seen this, and he has given those wonderful results. But the seed which he wants to nurture, if that seed is not being watered properly throughout his lifetime, he somewhere or the other things, he sees that, okay, that seed, he now forgets that seed. And a day comes when somebody triggers that seed and then it starts growing faster. So I had those type of students also, that then they came out that, sir, I also want to do this. How can you help me out? Because yeah, we have achieved this. I'm so happy. My family is happy because I see every child works for the family. It's a completely bonding. And I love the bonding. Wherever there is bonding, the flow is very fast and you get fantastic results. Now I just stop for a moment and I would like someone of you to share whatever I have discussed. If you have any case study or any story of yours, or if you wish to ask any question which is relevant to these 3 points which I have mentioned. Anyone? Please unmute yourself and you can go ahead. Okay, so I'll proceed. And yeah, so the fourth point which I want to mention over here is the relevance of the topic. Now, there are certain topics which, because recently I had a study wherein I just, because as I mentioned, I don't want to specify anything because it will be injustice with others. So the topic which we chose was not acceptable. The family said that, sir, you decide that because we want you to decide for us, and because we have complete trust, and because the trust factor is also very important. And they said that the child and you both decide, and we are okay with any topic, provided it is being able to be done by my child. And when we floated this topic, there were certain comments that, no, this is not a proper topic, or you should not go for it. This is not in your range. You will not be able to do it. And at this age, you should not do this. You should go in for the little lower grade. I respect their views because they have not been able to find out the potential of the child. And I, as a mentor, I find out what skill sets the child has, till where it can go and where it can expand also. Because I am also a human being. But I have that certain abilities which is God gifted, wherein I can challenge that the child can do it and he's ready to do it, and we all will help him out. I repeat the term, we will all help him out, because again, everybody's efforts. I never claim out of all these 25 that it is my individual efforts. It's a team effort. My back-end team, the parents, the child, we all come together and we work. And when the team works together, there is always a great success. And when we combine together with the same thought process of creating something which is going to help the child, which is going to nurture him, which is going to improve his profile. Because I always see that whenever I can vouch for it that all my 25 students are diamonds. And today, if I keep these diamonds in the market, they will have a huge value. And the value which has been built up, that they have created their own profiles, they have nurtured it, they are ready to come forward. So I would also appeal to parents to motivate them, not only the records, because we have a lot of community building programs. I have a lot of programs that I want students to come into it. Now the innovation hub, which I've recently started, I got a very good response. The day I put in that in the WhatsApp group, I received a lot of response, not only from India, from abroad, that here we want to be a part of it. And I just mentioned about till 18 years we be working, because we want to nurture the students. And I got a call from Chennai stating that we have around 200 students who are 18 plus, they are MTech students and they want to be a part of it. Can you please help us out? I said, let me create the group C. And I created a group C. So the baseline which I want to put forward, that everybody, not everybody, and many of the students and professionals too are looking forward to put in their feet. They have certain dreams, they have certain way of expressing, or they have certain things in mind, and they need a proper support. I'm really fortunate to work in wonderful companies. I'm really grateful for all those companies whom I have worked with, and I've learned a lot from them. And I'm into continuously sharing process. And I salute my mentors who have really motivated me and have helped me in every step of life. And my 30 years of wisdom, 30 years of learnings, I share with everything with my students. And I learn also from the students. So the learning goes on. It's a continuous process. And we all have excellent and brilliant ideas. One small tip I wish to give over here, that each one of you, I want each one of you to keep a small diary. Let's say this is my diary, which is my idea book, which I always carry with me. I keep it where, even if near my bed, it will be there. Wherever I go, I carry this diary, wherein I note down those ideas. So this is my fourth book, the small books, fourth book, wherein right now, up till now, I have more than 130 plus ideas. So maybe some ideas I have not noted down, but I just floated. So overall, maybe I had around more than 150 or 160 ideas. Those 30 ideas which I have not noted down, I have implemented it. So these ideas, I have kept it for implementation. Maybe that was not the right time. So there are some ideas which really worked wonders. There are some ideas which failed. But when it failed, I came to know that this was not the right time. This was not the right way of approach. This was not the right, what you can say, wordings may not be proper. That's why it has not reached the market, or it has not been understood properly. So a lot of learning happens when you implement it. Unless and until you take action, you cannot see the results. I've seen a lot of people, because whenever the people who are working with me, I say that you don't follow me. I don't want followers. I want leaders. I want to create leaders. So in my group, whoever are in my group, they are all leaders. I give them the project. I say, you make mistakes. We all will see to it that how that mistake can be transformed and translated into a genuine thing, because we want to give genuine things. So whenever you are doing a mistake, you're not doing it purposely. It happens. We all are human beings. Maybe in mistakes in terms of words, there's spelling mistake, pronunciation mistakes, the way of expressing, maybe somebody will take it some in different way. Maybe understanding approach may be not proper. So the people will not able to understand what you have put forward. So there are different ways, but I repeat that don't make that mistake again. Once you have identified that I have made this mistake, don't repeat the mistake. Make a new mistake. So when you make a new mistake, you learn from those mistakes. And when you are successful, you know that, okay, this was the right time, right moment I have put it, and these are the right people I have got it. And let's work with the right people. And when we work with the right people, the results are bound to be sure. So yes, the next point which I want to emphasize is the security part. Now, in terms of security, in terms of what are the security measures which we are taking in terms of sleep, this is very, very important. I tell my students that yes, you need to have a sleep, a good sleep, a power nap. A power nap of 10 minutes power nap can complete your 4 hours sleep. So your disciplined approach, your timetable, your schedule. Many of the students say that, sir, we have already tried this method of timetable, it doesn't work. I always tell them that yes, you have tried, but you have not tried in a proper way. And you have tried it. I love the word try, because whenever somebody says that, sir, I'm trying this, I always tell them to take a pen and try to hold it. This is a trick I always play with my students. And they say, sir, I'm holding it. I say, I try to hold it. Have you heard what I've said? Try to hold it. I said, how can I try? Yes, that's accurate. How can you try? Either you have to do it or you have to leave it. So when you have decided that you are going to do it, you have to do it. So when you create a timetable and you create a schedule, you have to decide that I have to adhere to the timetable and I have to do it. Plus minus is a part of our life. We cannot be robots. So today 7 o'clock I wanted to start, but I was waiting for participants. There were some participants there was some technical issues. So we are not robots. We want that each one of us needs to put forward the way and approach. So when you create a schedule, you know that, yes, this is the time which is reserved for certain things. And yes, even if it is 50% to start with, pat your back. Because it's 0 is always, 50% is always better than 0. Because if you don't have a timetable, if you don't have a schedule, you don't know what to do the next moment. And then you suffer. So even if it is, I say 30% to start with, 40%, pat your back. You have been successful 30%. Then it moves on 35, 40. And as you move on, your percentage increases and you are able to create a disciplined approach. Because if you have to create certain things, you have to be disciplined. If discipline is not there, it becomes very difficult to make a mark. And unless and until you make a mark, you cannot create history. And unless and until you're passionate, unless you're mad about doing certain things, you cannot create history. So whenever somebody says that, Sushant, you're mad, I say, thank you very much. You have given a right tagline for me. Unless and I'm, so it's visible that I am mad. If I'm not mad, it will be very difficult for me to create certain things. So you have to be certain, what we can say, the approach, when you start with creating something, have a clear-cut approach. Have a systematic way of analyzing the things. So before you decide, think about it, write down on the paper, note it down. Because when you write on a paper, your neurons are directly connected to your brain and gives a trigger in certain areas of the brain, which are very effective and which are the parts of the brain which help you to take decisions, to analyze, to prioritize. So such parts of the brain helps you to freeze, fly, or fight. So when you write down, when it's a commitment to yourself. If I say something and I write down something, that's a huge difference. So if you analyze these perspectives, you will come to know that everything has its own way of handling and going about it. The next point, and very, very important point, is the records which you are creating is and should be breakable. The reason behind it, when you give a chance to somebody that yes, I have achieved this in 5 minutes or 7 minutes or 8 minutes, the other person triggers that yes, there is a something strong point that I need to come less than 5 minutes or less than 3 minutes, less than 2 minutes. And when that spark is there, that when the spark ignites, it creates a what you can mule around yourself, and that mule helps you to trigger and gives you quality work. Because I first believe in quality. If you give quality work, quantity will automatically follow. You don't have to worry for those 2 and 3 minutes and 5 minutes. You just focus on quality. And when you focus on quality, you get small pointers, which you will miss if you run after the quantity. I'm not at all in favor of quantity, because you give results, people will follow you. Now you all might, I'm sure you all are watching different videos and they have lakhs and millions of followers. Today we see that they have lakhs and millions of followers. But if you see, go reverse, rewind and check with them, they will come to know, you will come to know the quality of work they have done. They have put in the efforts. So when one person knew that, yes, oh wow, I liked it, and he approached another, please go and watch Mr. So and so's video. Wonderful. So one connects with two, two connects with four, four connects with eight, and it spreads on, and there lakhs of subscribers come in. And it's not easy to get lakhs of subscribers. You need to have quality first. And then the quantity automatically follows, and it grows and grows and grows, because they now believe that this is the person wherein I need to come every day, because I'm getting some inputs out of it. I'm getting some results. I'm learning something from it. So unless and until you put forward those efforts, I think each one of us can have that potential. And I always believe and I trust that we all are genius. But unfortunately, nobody has, neither the school, neither the college have identified our genius abilities, our uniqueness. Because I always give the practical example of my children. My elder son, when he was in 7th standard, he identified that he had a spark for electronics. And and when I saw that spark, I said, okay, whatever electronics gadget we had, before we call the engineer, hardware engineer, we used to say that, okay, you open it and see what happens. Because as it is, we are going to give it for repair. So this way, he learned a lot. He had not done any electronics course apart from electronics engineering later on. But today he is doing M.Tech in solar system, and continuously from 12 years till now, where he is 23. So long 11 years, he'll be focused on electronics, and future he will be in his passion towards electronics. My second son, he's a musician, and when he was in 10th and 12th, he was not so inclined toward education. But at the same time, he knew that education is a key. So he got really very good percentage in 10th and 12th, up in spite of not being so serious in studies. That's again God's grace and his efforts which he had put in. And today he is a musician, and since last 4 years he has been working in a music industry, and today he's teaching also, and he's doing professional shows. But if I talk about myself, to identify my niche area, which is education, it took me 35 years. So initial 35 years after my graduation, 10, 15 years, I worked in a corporate life, but I was not that happy, which I am happy today. Talking with people, discussing with them, assisting them, learning from them. So great experience I'm having because I'm into education. And this was my core area, which my mentors identify. I thank all my mentors. Dilip Tikle sir, who gave me who connected me to my mentor in memory, Vikrant Safekar, who I cannot I just go on speaking, the day will end, but his appreciation will never go on, because today, because of him, I am here. He had taught me, he has nurtured me so well, that today also he is helping me in every part of life. So Vikrant Safekar gave me a platform in education to move forward and go to the next level. Dilip Mukherjee from Singapore, who again gave me a complete different perspective of what is cognitive, what is creativity, what is visualization. He is a creative master, he's a creative genius. And the knowledge which he has poured and helped me to move forward, I'm sharing those knowledge. Dr. Dilip Patil, sir, unit director, Mumbai University. I've been fortunate to work with him for several years, and the way the lifestyle he was working, I really admired him, and he's my role model. So I'm very fortunate to have lots of Dilips in my whole curriculum as my mentors. My uncle, Dilip, who is no more with us, but I've learned a lot from him. Again, my mentor, Francis Xavier sir from Bangalore. So I cannot thank them. It will be very it's a continuous process. I was fortunate to work with Francis Xavier sir. If you browse from Francis Xavier sir, he's called father of memory. Unfortunately, we lost him 2 years back, and it really pains me when I speak about sir, because I have worked with him for around more than 4 years, moving around the different states of India, Chennai, Hyderabad, Pune. We have been to so many different places, Calcutta, and we had a great learning experience from him. I'm really fortunate to have good mentors, good organizations, good people to work with, and whoever I get connected, I learn from them. Every person gives me a learning experience, and I thank each one of them. I take this opportunity to thank each one of them. So whatever they have given me, whatever they have shared with me, whatever they have today, what I am is because of the Almighty God, my parents, my family members, and all my friends, and also who are very what you can say are very pinpointers. I don't call them my enemies, but they pinpoint me that this is what you are doing wrong and we don't like it. I'm really thankful for them because they have shown me something which I have never seen it. I always see in one angle. Maybe they gave me another angle, and I started thinking. So that putting that thought process in me, I really thank those people too. So I thank each one of them. So my journey of right from accelerating academic, well, if you see this semicircle, I have now crossed, I have come to discovering a better you. And this journey of all these 5 areas, it's complete ongoing journey, and it's a wonderful journey which I enjoy with my students, with my parents, and with my family members. The support which I get from each one of them is completely I cannot express, because if you tell me to write down, I can write stories behind it, I can write a lot, but to express in terms of words on a platform, for me it becomes very difficult. So I thank each one of them and each one of you who have been a part of this in this evening, to be a part of this program and joined us for to listen to me. I'm thankful to each one of you. Now with this, I open up a forum for questions. So if you have any questions related to, let's say, world records, related to research, championships, you please feel put forward. I would be very happy to address those questions. Over to all of you.
Yeah, good evening to you, please, Sushant sir.
Good evening, Sashobhit.
What motivated you? What made you think to do this wonderful, unique work?
Wonderful question. My motivation are the children, because when as I mentioned, the corporate life was not my cup of tea, because I was working, I got good promotions, I got good projects. I'm thankful for each and every organization who designed me and developed me. But the mark which I got when I started working with MKC, Maharashtra Knowledge Corporation Limited, having highest number of centers in IT in field of education. They have 5,500 centers spread across Maharashtra, and they are doing a fantastic job of developing the students, the professionals, the senior citizens. And when I came in contact with 500, I was responsible for 550 centers spread across Mumbai, Raigad, Ratnagiri, and Sindhudurg district. And when I worked with those creators, innovators of those institutions. I call them not owners, but creators and innovators, because they had put in a life in a lot of children. Every institute had more than 500 to 1,000 students coming across from different areas, walking through their life. And I've dealt with more than 5 lakh students in different areas. Maybe it's IT, maybe it's BEd, maybe it's some different examinations which we have come across. And when working with this 5 lakh children plus, I came to know one factor that we also missed is there are certain areas of concentration, attention, or how to study, what to do. Because they say that, okay, I'm very excellent into sports, I'm excellent to music, but I don't know what happens when I have to learn, when I have to study something. So my research starting the day I understood these concepts. And I'm fortunate that my first mentor, Dilip Tiklesar, introduced me to Vikrant Safekar, who really helped me in understanding and what exactly was my inclination of helping, and the way we gelled with each other. And he taught me those techniques, and which I'm floating the technique which was there about musical windows, which is being used globally, and we are spreading that throughout. So I thank Vikrant Safekar, who created this musical windows and helped me also to create my own copyright, that is United Method, which I have got a copyright, and we are spreading this, and across the globe it is being used. So hope I have answered Colonel Chobitji to your question. Thank you very much for this wonderful question. There is one, you have raised the hand. Yeah, please go ahead.
So there are two aspects that I was looking at for my son. One was the Memoroid Championship, and one is creating records. So my son is 5 years old, and what do you think is the right age to really learn memory techniques? When is it that the child can actually understand visualizing or making flowcharts in his head, or the various other memory techniques? What is the right age to put the child into it?
Okay. Now, this question can be answered in 3-4 different ways. I just try to summarize all these 3-4 ways. Now, the child, as you mentioned, it's 5 years. The age is just a biological age, but the social age and the technology today, which we call it the technological age or the social age. So your children are exposed to not many things which we did not have opportunity, or we did not have exposure to. Google. Google was born after we had born, and today, since they have that exposure, the creative ability and the ability to grasp the information, the curiosity, or maybe their curiousness to get more information, adapt to certain things, they are ready to unlearn the things which are not being used and ready to learn the things which can be used. So if you just see, I see them as a tree which is growing up, wherein every day new leaves, new flowers, new fruits grow, and they encourage them to grow. They encourage them, they water them properly. As the age progresses, as the logical brain starts developing, we see that, okay, this fruit is not growing in this angle which I want. So I cut that fruit, I cut that leaf because I want in my pattern. So the cutting happens after the logical brain is developed. Unless and until the logical brain is developed, your child is completely a land which can be designed the way you want. If you want to have farming land, you can do farming. If you want to build up tower, you can build up a tower. If you want to build up a playground, a wonderful international playground, you can do so. So at this age, the playground which is there, you need to nourish that playground. You need to water them properly. If you water them properly, whatever results, there is no, because we cannot, I cannot put them into certain things, or maybe only this is possible or that is possible. I may be wrong. There is endless possibilities because the potential which they have, the energies which they have, because I've seen a lot of children, every child has an energy. That's why they spend that energy in playing. Some play outdoor games, some play indoor games. They want to put forward that energy. They have tremendous energy, each child. And we also have tremendous energy. And we either use it in a proper way, or we just what you can say, waste those energy, and then we say, okay, I've wasted my time. In that time, if I would have read so and so books, or I would have enrolled myself for this and this course, or I maybe have joined for internship, or I might have joined done a job. So this later on putting forward, that doesn't make any sense. Live in present moment. So today, what I can do. So I always say that whatever the age you are, so don't see the number, see what you can do now. What are the ways? What are the different opportunities are there? What are the opportunities you can create? What are the skill sets you have? What are the weaknesses you have? Can you convert those weaknesses into a strength? So let's say weakness is my anger. There are parents who tell me that he gets angry very fast. I say, good. Anger is not bad. Anger is good. When he gets angry very fast, you create an opportunity for him. And when that opportunity is, he'll be very angry that, yes, I have to do it. That's the anger, which is putting into that opportunity. And which would take 6 months, he will complete it in 2 or 3 months because of that anger. So anger is good, provided it is channelized in the right way. Coming to your second question about the world record. There is no age. My minimum years is 4. I'm looking out for children who can explore in 2 and 3 also. Maybe the at this age, their capabilities are completely different. Now I'm doing with one of my kids who 10 languages. He is ready to learn. He's just 6 years. He's ready to learn 10 languages. He just dropped himself. As a logical brain, we will think, rubbish. 10 languages? Is it possible for me? But he has put himself into it. And he has already learned 4 languages. So we are doing 3 things: the alphabets, the numbers, and 50 sentences in all these 10 languages, 50 prominent sentences. So on the outer scale, you will say that no, Sushant is mad. Is it possible for a 6-year kid? But if kid has accepted it, I take up that challenge. Again, I repeat, the kid has accepted it. I don't accept that. Because if I accepted that you can do it, I'm forcibly telling him to do it. Because I want you to do it. I say that we collaboratively do it. And when collaboration comes, when his efforts come, it's always said that interest is the mother of memory. And your attention is the father of memory. When he has the interest and he's very attentive in doing whatever he's doing, I think when the parents are with him, I think he can definitely get the results. Maybe the timings might be 4. Maybe we might be planning to do it in 3 months. It may take 4 months. It's okay. But ultimately, the result counts. When people are going to watch that 10, this thing, they will say, wow. But if they rewind it and we show them the picture, this wow, to say this wow, we have taken this efforts. The child has taken this efforts. And because of this efforts, he is able to do it, perform it now. Today, when I get a lot of calls after the events, wow, the child was wonderful. I said, yes, you need to appreciate him because the efforts which I have taken, I want you to bless these children because they are blessed with the ability of good parents who are motivating them. Because parents are the key. If parents don't motivate, the child will never able to explore themselves. It's just like a flower. He is now like this. And when you motivate them, when the society motivates, when everybody motivates, slowly it flourishes. And when the actual world record event comes in, he is like this. And then there's no way back. He expands. He brings in more branches and he creates those flowers because now he knows, he understands that to create from this position to this position, what efforts have been taken. He knows it now. And at the low age, at the less age, when he understands this, when he grows up, it becomes very easy for him. The qualities, the lifestyle which he moves on, the skills, the academic skills, the life skills, and the technical skills. There are 3 skills which he gets in during the process. And all these 3 skills are very, very important. Hope I have answered your query.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? One of the query which I got it on WhatsApp is, how should we identify that? Because he's into multiple games. He loves this, he likes this, he is into that. So differentiate between like and love, differentiate between passion and enjoyment, differentiate between what he wants to do and what he wishes to do. So that needs to be identified, because as a child he wants to explore, because he doesn't know what is good for him, what can be convert him into different aspects. So maybe it will take a little bit more time. So we assess the students. So first is the assessment stage. So we follow a certain system. So through that assessment we come to know that what he can do, what he cannot live without. So we cannot live without food and water. So what is that which he cannot live without? So once we identify that yes, this is what I really dream of, or I'm ready to explore myself, I'm ready to put myself, I'm ready to learn this, and this is what challenges me. I would like to read, I would like to explore, I would like to take this opportunity. So coming up with a positive mind frame and the affirmations, that is what which is required. For some it takes a little bit more time, because they say that no, this I like this, because some of my children, they say that, okay sir, this is also good, that is also good, this is also good, can we do all the three? I said no, let's focus on one, because there's no point doing a flag and the reverse. So flag is flag, and memorizing reverse and reverse is completely different. So need to identify what are the areas wherein you can explore more. It's not required that you should know more about it, because now we are also one of the things which we are doing is about the dinosaurs, wherein I don't know about dinosaurs, but a child knows the dinosaurs. There is another area wherein we are looking of for American history, wherein I don't know American history, but I am ready to learn, because when I have to teach him, I have to learn. So I am ready to learn. I first see the priorities of the children. If you want to do this, okay, I am ready to learn, because I want it's a swarth. It's my swarth that I get an opportunity to learn the certain things which I would have never explored. One more aspect.
Sir,
Yeah, please.
I'm sorry. No, please continue. Please continue.
Yeah. So one more approach which I just wanted to put forward is the aroma. Now this is completely different for me, which is a student came to me that I can identify different aromas. I said this is something new for me. So I started researching. I started studying, talking with people, and today I'm in a position to guide that child. Maybe it will take a little bit more time, but now I know what to do. So initially, so as I told you, my strategy is yes or no. I'll not say I will try. So I told him, hold on. Right now, my answer is no. But I'm not saying no to you. I'm just telling you hold. I'll come back to you. So now I have the answer. Now I have approached the parents and the child. We have discussed and we have decided. Now we will go forward. Yeah, please. Over to you.
So I've been very fortunate to figure out at a very young age his passion for numbers. Fortunately, my son gave the world mental math exam at 4.5.
Wow.
In 7 years category. He stood first in the world.
Wow, congrats.
And he's been very good at math. But how do I get a list of the world records which are already created in math, or which are already open, or the ideas that I should have in terms of record building? I know he can do it in a span of, I think, a week's time, where he was taking 2-digit additions, 3-row additions, 8 minutes and 8 seconds. He has jumped to 2 minutes 50 seconds, which is a very good jump for even like a week's time, by playing just probably 12 games, or 13 games. So he improvises on himself. I think World Math Challenge Australia, he stood 114th in the world, in spite of the fact that I did not help him type, whereas other mothers were helping typing, because I'm sure the kids need to know touch typo to be there. So I know that he can, if I've given him a challenge in math, he will work towards it and he will not breathe till he has finished that challenge. He has that passion in him. But how do I get a list of record, or, I know that this is the record available, or this I can create, or this is something which somebody has already done, I can try to break it. So is there any particular website that we can look into?
Yes, yes. There are different websites. There are different organizations who have different areas of working. I can definitely share those with you. My research team, we have a separate research team who only does research on what are the areas which have been done, which are the areas which can be explored. So yes, I can definitely help you out to give those things. Secondly, I would ask you to, as you mentioned that he had done it in 2 minutes 50 seconds. Rather than again competing, there are two ways. One is compete with yourself again and do it in 2 minutes. The second way is what differently he can do, because now he knows the skill sets, that this is the way I can do
Yeah.
it. Now, what are the additional skills he can put in and create a new record, which has not, so you create a category of yourself. So now already this 2 minute 50 second, the category has been created. You can play in that category again and win again, or you create a new category. So there are
Right.
two things which you can explore and work on it.
Right. So, so could you please just share those links with me on the group, or however you correct?
Sure, I'll share in the group so that others also can take the benefit of it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Any other question? Great. Vaibhavi, Kalpana ji, Akash, do you have any questions?
No questions as such, but it is really wonderful to see this program taking off. Congratulations to Shushant, and congratulations to all the parents and the children who have created world records. It's been such an amazing journey, Shushant-ji. Though I am not very much informed after my surgery, I have been constantly looking at your messages and following up with your, your social media pages. Very glad to see youngsters performing, and it's actually they are all the pride of India. And congratulations once again to Sushant for being a catalyst to bring up all these children on the global platform. And may this work continue, Sushant. My support always. Just give me a couple of months. I will join you in this and bring in more students for you.
Great, fantastic. Thank you, Kalpana, because you have been a great support to us, and I'm sure that you once you are back, you'll be in action, because the ACF University, which is into arts and music, I want a lot of students who wish to get into art and music and create records. So I want to put them on your platform, because your platform is a global platform, and that global platform can help my students to explore in the global world. So I'm looking forward for collaboration and working with ACF University.
And we will work together.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your kind words. Akash and Vaibhavi, do you want to say something, or if you have any questions?
Hello, sir. It was a wonderful session. The hours, 1 hour, it went like this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fraction of a second. Yes, I enjoyed a lot of information. Yes, I involved my kid into it. Yes. Thank you for the session. It's so motivating.
Thank you very much. Akash? Okay, great. So with this, we conclude the session, and thanks for all your questions, and thanks for the motivation, and thanks for being a part of our Brain Rhyme programs. And we look forward for a long association and collaboration